most specialist editions that we've ever had. It's our very first celebratory podcast episode. This, ladies and gentlemen, is episode 50.
Holy crap.
50
Yay!
of doing this podcast. It's really hard to believe that I've wasted so much of my life sitting down and talking to these two people in front of me.
At least 50 hours.
At least 50.
Holy crap.
And I would say it's probably close to 70 because a couple of times Jason talks about
Drywall.
Jason stuff for over an hour before.
Soundproofing.
Yeah.
So this is a
Moving.
special episode that will not be dedicated to Jason talking about himself.
Well, we can go down that path if you'd like.
But before we get into it, we wanted to commemorate this episode with a very special giveaway, and Jason's going to tell you all about it.
I am. But first, before we get into the very, very special giveaway, I'm going to recap this month's already existing giveaways. Giveaways are crazy on this podcast, apparently. So the current giveaways that we have,
There's too many.
There's too many. We're gonna scale it back, but they're gonna be good giveaways, right? Easier for people to follow.
Wait, there's more.
Yeah, wait, there's more. And by easy, I mean I'm about to talk about 3 different things. So this month we already have 2 current giveaways going on. The first one is an apprentice apron from Leather by Dragonfly. The rules for that are the 50 states, and it can be size small through 2X. That does not include any upgrades. It is just a simple apprentice apron. If you guys want to find out more about the apprentice apron, go to leatherbydragonfly.com. You'll get to see what is there. There's a couple of pockets, a pencil holder, tape measure holder, and you're done, right? But that is going to be given to one lucky winner. And to enter, all you do is go to greensuiterspodcast.com, go to the giveaway tab and enter there. But that's not the only giveaway we have going on for the month of August. We had a late edition, which we talked about on the previous episode, which is from Carbon Method.
Cool.
And they are going to give away one of the Carbon Coat kits, the product that is used on cast iron surfaces to help protect it and stop rust. I've used it now in all 3 tools in my shop. I really like it a lot. If you guys want to find out more information about that, you can either go to carbonmethod.com or you can go to my YouTube channel and watch the recent video that I did. And I showed the entire process on applying it to my table saw.
I actually watched that video.
Well, good. What did you think of it?
His annual video that he watches from your channel. He only picks one.
Before the podcast, I watched your newest drop on Adventures on Zero.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
15,000
But you have
miles on
one
that
view
live
now.
wire, huh?
What, Jason?
You have 1 view now.
Yeah. Yes, 15,000 miles. Well, actually, it's at 16,000 now. But
Wow. Great video. The footage is awesome.
thanks, bud.
Yeah, man.
I'll take your word for it. All right, let me get back on track here. Okay, so here's the big announcement. For the Carbon Method, I want to say it's the lower 48 states can enter. I might have to verify. It doesn't matter. Just enter if you want to win the Carbon Method or the Apprentice Apron. Go to greensuiterspodcast.com. Go to the giveaway tab. Sign up there and enter for your chance to win. Now, here's the big announcement. Right. In honor of episode 50, our great friend Michelle from Leather by Dragonfly and her concubine Patrick.
Oh
From
my
the-
God. The mouse pad.
Mouse pads
guru.
by Patrick. I'm just kidding. Patrick and Michelle from Leather by Dragonfly, they've been extremely, extremely generous with us on the giveaways on this podcast, which has obviously benefited all of you guys, which is great, right? We couldn't be more happy to have them on board. They reached out to us and said, hey, because you guys have done 50 episodes, we would like to give away a custom apron,
Wow.
a fully custom apron to one lucky winner. So what we're going to do is that's not going to be a giveaway for this month. That is actually going to be the September giveaway. So you can't enter yet. If you want to enter for the existing giveaways, go to the website. But after September 1st hits, go to the website if you want your chance to win a custom apron. That will be the giveaway for the month of September. Now, same thing, all 50 states. There are some guidelines. It's a total value of, I want to say, $520 to $620, depending on your shirt size, right? Because that will dictate what size apron you're going to get. But it's a custom apron. Now, if you want to get add-ons and additions and upgrades and stuff like that outside of the regular package that they have, you will pay for those. But man, what a value! What a value
for sure.
for one lucky winner. So
it
definitely go check that out next month.
So I guess some people recognize the value of it, but I didn't really recognize what value it added to me in the shop until Jason gave me his old apron from Patrick and Michelle, and like I'd never even given a second thought of like going out and buying an apron. I just didn't know that I would need one until I brought that one home and I started using it. And if you want to buy an apron or like a Sedgley, for any one reason except this one, which is so that you don't lose things in your shop. So you don't lose tape measures and pencils and notepads and whatever else that you need regularly that's like kind of small, that's really easy to misplace. Having everything on that apron or in that Sedgley, like it makes life so much better in the shop.
That was the deciding factor for me, because I saw it way back in the day when Jay Bates, I think, was like the only person I'd seen wearing one. And for me, I was just sick and tired of putting down a pencil and not knowing where I put it, or a tape measure. Those two things alone. Squares, that kind of stuff, like they have a place. Tape measures and pencils, you always, leave them where you just use them. So it's never in the same place. And that was the biggest eye opener for me. And then having all the tools that I used on a regular basis, like right there on my body, was just so beneficial. But I mean, again, that's a huge value. I mean, this is a really, really good opportunity for somebody to win something that is very, very nice.
And then obviously the other added benefit too is just that you don't have to worry about getting crap on your clothes, whether it's glue or sawdust or if you do stain or finish or anything like that.
Ugh.
I know.
Gross.
But it really is beneficial. And one memory that kind of sticks out in my mind is the first time that one of my kids had seen me wearing it. I think it was my middle daughter. She was like, I don't know, 8 at the time, 7 or 8. And she saw me wearing it down in my workshop, and she was like, "Dad, you look like a woodworker."
Oh, cool.
And so it's
cool.
I don't know. I think it's
Are you sure she used the term woodworker?
She said wood woman, but I'm not going to hold it against her.
And let's just say it. I love the smell of leather too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I just like to sit in my shop and smell it.
Yeah. I sleep with my pouch.
Yeah. I sleep with my mouse pad. But anyways, those are the giveaways that we're doing for this month and next month. It's kind of just the whole. This is going to be a shorter episode. We kind of have a specific topic that we're going to talk about. This will be a slightly shorter episode, but we really wanted to promote that. Like today's episode 50. Patrick and Michelle over at Leather by Dragonfly are very good friends. We're generous enough to do something like that. So huge thank you to Patrick and Michelle. And if you guys want your chance to win a custom apron, make sure you enter next month. And if you want a chance to win an apprentice apron or some carbon coat, make sure you go enter this month.
That's right.
But let's talk about what we've been up to. I've had a slightly significant thing happen in my life recently.
You think?
And Ben, you've been on vacation, and Sedge, you're Sedge, so you always have something exciting happen.
You got a Merca sander, didn't you?
Never.
I'm just joking.
Never. No, you did get something else though. Sedge, you want to go first?
Okay. I just bought a boatload of plywood, cut it up today, ripped it all down, and now it's all cross-cut. I cross-cut it later this afternoon. I'm building 10 more Cis AZ cabinets. I'm on vacation this week and spent the first 2 days in the shop. Oh, my goodness gracious, I was in heaven. And I leave for Florida in the morning. We're going down for 4 days. Jennifer is graduating with her doctorate in biomedical informatics. Really proud of
Oh,
her.
that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And man, I just been wicked busy. Spent last weekend teaching down at Mark Adams. I had 12 students. Daggone it, that's my heaven. I just love hanging out there. You know, that is such an awesome school. And I met, who did I meet there? That was cool. His name's Mac. He's the owner of Panther Router. He was teaching the class while I was there.
Oh, cool.
They had, this is really cool. In the front room, they had some lady. I didn't meet her, but I could smell. They had an aroma therapy class. It was really cool. And she's teaching all this week on how to make soaps. So it's very, everybody thinks it's all just woodworking. No, he's the week before he had blacksmithing. Another class that he had that blew me away is people came in all raw materials at the beginning of the week, and the 6 or 7 people in the class walked out with a laser engraver. They built their own lasers.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
just amazing the amount of classes. And what did he say? Because I'm teaching again down there next October. He said we have 260 different faculty members next year teaching. So it ought to be really cool.
Wow.
He's just
I'm still kicking myself because I lived right down the street from that place, and I've still never been.
yeah, Mac Adams School of Woodworking he's next year. We're celebrating the 30th year. So it's really cool because it's nice to, Mark's my friend, you know, and the best part is at the end of the like Sunday afternoon, he pulls me in the office and we chat for a few minutes, and just what a great individual. What amazing. And he's so humble, but people don't realize he's probably the best woodworking instructor on the planet, but also an absolutely phenomenal craftsperson. Holy moly, can he build? Wow. Some of the stuff I've seen in his portfolio is incredible. So
Said
that's
you-
what I've
you
been up
did-
to.
Well, you forgot to mention the best part.
What, my Javi?
No, that one. I said the best part though. The best part was you get to spend the morning with me.
Dude, that was so cool. It was like, and what was really cool is I can't wait till you fully retire, and then maybe I retire someday. Nah, I'll just hang
Yeah,
out
probably
with you.
not.
I'll just hang out with you. Why don't you come up to the festival, hang out with me up there?
I will. November and December.
That'll be cool. But it was neat hanging out this morning, just, you know, shooting the BS. I was ripping plywood and we were just going over a couple of things. It was pretty chill, talking about Max. Whoop.
You did talk about the Harvey.
So got a new Javi bandsaw that came in. Really excited to do some content on it. But what I liked about it is I I ordered the regular cast iron top, and they sent me the tin coated. So I'm gonna push it through its paces. I unboxed it yesterday afternoon. Rick was over, and man, I forget how man, that thing is heavy. I think it's 600 pounds. And getting it off the pallet, and boy, brought back a lot of memories because I used to put together a lot of machinery down at International Tool in the 90s.
One thing I will say about the Harvey tools is they really do come like pretty much ready to go. Very minimal setup on your part, and they make it very easy. I was able to get the bandsaw off myself. I was able to get the dust collector off myself, without getting any special tools or anything like that. So it is nice the way that they do ship the stuff. But cool.
First look at it, I was like, wow, it is really well made. First thing I always do when I check a bandsaw is the wheels, and boy, they're heavy duty. They're an easy spin, and boy, they just spin really nice. So I'm impressed to put a couple of really good blades on there and start taking it through its paces. But I like the tension release on it so far. Get the tape. That table is massive.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah. And I like the height of the resaw fence. So I'll be resawing. I got tons of boards I got to resaw. So that's what I've been up to. Ben, what have you been up to?
I just got back from 2 weeks of vacation, being at home in Louisiana.
Shocking. Imagine that. Ben on vacation.
My best friend's family threw me and Jennifer an engagement party down there with my family and friends, and yeah, we just kind of made a little family vacation out of it. Had a lot of fun. Came back on Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember which day. And that's pretty much it.
So when is your next vacation? Are you leaving tomorrow, right? Leaving out
Actually, I'm
tomorrow
on
for your
it.
next
I'm on it
vacation?
right now.
Yeah.
I'm on it right now. I only came back to cut the grass and feed the cats, and that was it. So
Yep.
thanks, patrons.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Ben, do you have somebody come over and feed the cats?
No, they were fine the whole time. I just filled up a big dish full of water, and I mean I leave their food container open. They just kind of graze throughout the day, so
Yeah.
they're fine.
Interesting.
It's a good
man.
thing. Once you get dogs, that changes the game. But cats, man,
Yeah.
you can leave cats for the weekend and they'll be just fine.
I mean, litter box was a little
Or
full.
2 weeks, like Ben does.
Litter box was a little full coming back, but
Yeah, I bet.
but they were fine on food. My cat, the one that's sleeping right now, right here, when I came in, he was like, "Who the hell are you?" Like, what's going? Like his hair was like all matted and stuff because he's an inside and an outside cat. I let him out at night and he comes back in the morning. So he's just like, "I've been inside for 2 weeks. I need to
How dare
taste
you."
blood. I need to taste
Yeah.
blood.
Where the hell you been?
Let me out." But pretty much what I've been up to. A little bit of motorcycle
Awesome.
riding. But Jason, what have you been up to?
Let's see. I released my video on the carbon coat. That let
mean-
all the
You
all
mean
the trolls.
Yeah. You mean
Yeah.
that infomercial you made?
Yeah. So
That was
I wanted
funny
to
as
talk
shit.
about that. But obviously, since we kind of got sidetracked with the recording and all that stuff, I really wanted to talk about it because that was just a bad day because it just proved to me that you cannot win. And at this point, I just do not care anymore. But it was the negative feedback immediately. And then somebody sent me a link to a Facebook, the Sauce Top Owners Group page, and a thread that was on there. And it was just like dumb comment after dumb comment, and people just thinking it's snake oil and then I'm just a paid advertisement. And Ben, and then you saw the comment about somebody saying, "I don't know if you mentioned it, but did you pay for this?" And I literally said it 3 times and even said how much I paid for the product. In the video, what's funny about that? In the video, I actually cut this out because I was finally kind of like, this doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I say this or not. But in the video, I actually had the whole blurb talking about I bought this product, and then the owner of the company reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in making a YouTube video, applying it and sharing it with my audience. And I said yes. And I told him that I was not going to share my opinions on the product because it's new. 6 months from now, it could destroy my cast iron surface. I don't know, right? It's unknown. No one knows that. And people were making comments about it's hard to find good information on this because, everybody's just promoting this right now. Literally the only two people on YouTube is me and Spagnolo. That's it.
Yeah.
We're the only 2 people. And I did it because of him, because I was intrigued. So it just made me realize that you're never going to make everybody happy.
Nope.
They leave comments before they even get to the part where they're asking a question or making a comment about. So I just don't care anymore. I just don't care. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want because it's my channel.
We all know that you really did it to advertise for Macy's dad shirt collection.
Yeah, I loved your comment. Yeah. Yeah. I've got some good comments because of that video. So that's the good part. But I did that. I'm super impressed with it so far. I've used the tools now a couple of times. It's a night and day difference between how slick the tools are, which is awesome. I installed the Incra fence on the table saw. That was kind of a headache and a nightmare. I'll be making a video on that.
Huge, man.
That's what she said.
Oh.
It's amazing. It is just such a remarkable fence. But I'm going to do a video showing all the hiccups that I ran into with the SawStop, and then showing what it does. It's a remarkable system. It really is. I shouldn't have waited so long to get it. But other than that, that's it. There is one other small thing. I had a child, but
I really wanted to talk about the Incra. I really wanted to talk about the Incra.
No, everybody, I had my boy Max.
Wait, you did? Oh, Sedge, a world first. A man gave birth. You're like you're like a human seahorse, Jason.
Yeah.
Yep. I got an epidural and pushed it right out.
Oh my God.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations
Yeah,
to you and Nicole and Leo.
He is,
Yes.
Whoa. We're neglecting something now.
what?
There was another big purchase that happened in your house recently. There was a purchase of a new vehicle. We can't.
What are you
What do
talking
you
about?
mean? Leo
Oh,
got
the
a
Gator.
sweet new ride.
Oh yeah, Leo got the Gator. Yeah, he loves that thing. Now he's making a track in my front yard, destroying my grass. So yeah, there's that. No, but that was a fantastic purchase because he freaking loves that thing. He rides it every day. But yeah, man, I got 2 kids now. It's crazy. But we'll move on after this part. But so I had a very, very positive outpouring of people like saying congratulations and stuff. And I talked about it on my Instagram. Like I really appreciated it. There were so many messages. I've never received this many DMs ever. It was well over 100 easily. And it took me probably over an hour just to give everybody a heart that made a comment. Like that's how many messages I had. But I brought Leo home. And we were really worried about it, right? We were worried about so many things. We were worried about, Leo not cooperating with my wife's mother, who's here. He was like an angel, which was fantastic. And I was really worried about how he was going to react. Well, when we got home, he was actually driving that Gator in the front yard. And I took Max out. And he wanted to meet his baby brother. And we went inside. We sat down on the couch. And I got probably the best pictures I've ever gotten in my entire life of my wife, him, and Max. And then my wife got some of me, Max, and Leo. And I'm not an emotional guy, right? Like at all. But when I watched that, I had to step aside for a while.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. So I'm excited, and Sedge's camera falls down. And
Wow, that was interesting.
yeah, weird timing.
I don't know what I did.
But yeah, it's exciting. It's fun. Life is a lot different now, but it's going to be for the best. So Nicole is extremely healthy. Max
Good.
is very healthy. She got to come home early, which is fantastic. The delivery was, literally like I looked at the clock at 12:38, and that's when we started the process. And at 12:44, he was born.
Yeah, that's man,
pretty fast.
It's crazy. I'm glad that
Totally different experience this time. But yes, thank you again to everybody who sent me messages. It's pretty cool. Now I have 2 headaches for the next 18 years. Because once they move out, I don't have to deal with them anymore, right? They're not my kids anymore once they turn 18. That's a fact. That's a law. I'm pretty sure that's a law.
Yeah, law.
All right.
Yeah.
That's how.
So, anyways,
I see
that's it.
That's how I see it.
That's
Like-
what I've been up to, making babies. Everybody.
When they wake up on the 18th birthday, I'm like, wait, why are you here?
Yeah. Why are you here? Who are you? Rent starts
this is,
today.
This
chump.
is my house, and you're in.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Ben. What are we gonna discuss in this episode?
Well, because it's episode 50, I thought that it would be a good opportunity to kind of discuss like how the podcast to us has kind of changed, right? Or maybe not how the podcast itself, because it has changed. We've kind of gotten into a rhythm of sorts. But I was thinking the other day, Jason and I we were talking about doing this back in like 2017 when there wasn't a saturation of podcasts. There was like 2 about woodworking, and we'd always kind of wanted to start a podcast, and we always drug our feet on it. And then last year we ended up finally executing it and got Sedge on board. And I don't know, I guess, how has your perspective of doing a podcast changed, or if that's even the right way to ask it, I guess. Yeah, like how has it changed for you, your perspective after doing it for 50 of them? Is there anything you would want to do differently or change or add or remove or?
I don't know. For me, I like the format that we do. There's a lot of podcasts out there that just every episode focus on answering questions. And the one common denominator that I've realized on all of those podcasts is that they're always answering the same questions. If you're somebody that listens to those podcasts a lot, right? So it's kind of like any other social media platform. You always get this new audience that finds your podcast or finds your page and is asking questions that they don't have any idea that have already been answered. So for us, I really like the way that we do it, how we have it broken up to where we each pick a topic, then we have patron sponsored one, and then we have, a community episode. I like that flow, and I'm glad that we kind of stuck with that from the get-go. Sedge, you're laughing about something?
I am. We've added some great stuff. Like it started out like what do we call it? What we call get bent in the beginning. Everybody hates Jason. Yeah.
Everybody hates Jason.
Okay. And then the addition, we coaxed Mr. Marshall into becoming Hans.
Yeah.
This is morphed over time. And this is like, it's kind of like, I don't know, for me, I just get to hang out with you guys. And we just happen to record our conversation. And it's fun. I mean, Jason, there was one time it was your topic and you said, we're just going to, BS. And I was like, what the hell are we going to talk about? And we just went with the flow and it was one of the greatest episodes. What this has meant to me mostly is hanging out with you two on a regular basis. But I thought, are people actually going to listen to this? And then I get a message from somebody and said, dude, you hit me like a ton of bricks on the Green Suitors episode, blah, blah, blah. And I went, wow. He goes, you were talking about your wife, Marianne, and how much she means to you and woodworking. And it really made my day. I was listening to it on the way to work. And then people reach out to me and say, dude, I had to pull over on the side of the road. I was listening to you mention P-Town to Jason when he was going to, right? He goes, I actually pulled over. I was pissing my pants. So, but also people reach out to me is like, I was down at Mark Adams this weekend and Dan Robinette came out to me and said, man, I listened to all your Green Suitor podcasts. So it's funny because I do the Festool podcast, but I always have to ask which podcast, and it's always the Green Suitors. I mean, the people listen to us while they're working in their shops or while they're driving. And I'm just like, wow. I don't know. Maybe I'm an old dude. Well, I am an old dude, but I get a kick out of this because this is a lot of fun. Now, the best part of the Green Suitors podcast, and everybody listening knows this. It's Friday night.
Jason Bent.
No, Friday night, once a month, we do with our patrons, we do beers with the boys.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was going to be like a 2 hour. Sometimes I'm on there. We're on there 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
And I can't believe how many people show up. I think I've counted over 30 in and out. We always have at least 20 online with us on that Zoom call. But man, people poke in and out, and it's a lot of fun. I go to bed sometimes that night because it's late, and I'm just like, I'm wired because I'm still laughing at some of the stuff we say on there. We discuss. It's a lot of fun, and this has meant a lot to me, the Green Suiters podcast. So I am looking forward to another 50 for sure.
Oh,
This is a lot of
I
fun.
didn't
So
sign up for that. My contract was 50 episodes, guys. I don't.
it's cool. You don't know who's listening, and that's what the cool part is. And they just come out and say,
Yep.
"Hey, man, thanks." And I'm just like, "Wow, this is cool."
What
Okay.
blows my mind is that I'm still talking with people who have no idea that there's a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because people ask me questions now, and I'll be like, "Oh, we talked about that on episode whatever." I'll be like, "Have you by chance listened to the, our podcast?" Podcast? What? I didn't know you had a podcast. Like, what have you been living under a rock? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we have
I mean,
a podcast.
I mentioned it this past weekend because Dan and I were talking about it, and somebody says, "You have a podcast?" I go, "Yeah."
Well, technically, you have two.
Yeah. I got a lot of stuff going on, but yeah. Cool. Ben, what has it meant to you?
Well, obviously, as I was saying kind of in the beginning, that this is something that Jason and I had always talked about doing for years. How we wanted to get a podcast going. We got to do it. We got to do it just because of all the conversations that we had always kind of had with each other. And those, Jason and I don't really have those conversations anymore. And I think it's because we have this podcast now, and then that's where it kind of happens now to a degree.
Oh, is that why? Is that why, Ben? I was going to say it's because of Jen.
No,
You're always so busy with Jen.
I'm only with her on the weekends.
I just wrote you a message the other day, Ben, and said we need to hop on a phone call because I have some important things I need to talk to you about. And you're like, screw you.
Say that.
Yes, I did.
When did you say that?
Hold on.
I don't.
You were
remember
with
this.
Jen.
Was I on vacation or was I here?
You've been on vacation since May.
This is true.
Also, I wanted to get on a Zoom call with you sometime in the next couple of weeks to hopefully so I can start running blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to read the rest. Okay, I get back home on Sunday, no kids for 2 weeks.
You can't say Zoom call because it's different than a phone call.
No, I want to get on a Zoom call because I want to share my screen and my products with you.
Jason,
anyway,
I don't want to see you in lingerie. Okay.
Ooh.
Damn it.
I know that's your business idea, but I'm sorry, no one's gonna buy Jason's 12 naughty pictures for the calendar. Okay.
Hey! Don't go and say that right away.
You're talking about this luscious
body.
Good.
The pictures.
Yeah, they're pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I have them hang them up in the shop right now. Ooh.
You know how many middle-aged men want this body I have?
Yeah. There's people out there with a parent session, okay?
Do you know what I mean? I'm going to see me slathered in whatever it was you just made a YouTube video about. What's it called? Carbon something?
Carbon coat.
Do you know how many middle-aged men want to see me covered in carbon coat with nothing but my apron thong on, made by Patrick?
Yeah, made by Patrick. Thongs by Patrick.
Hey, I wonder if that carbon coat will work good on my mouse pad here from Patrick.
Yeah, probably. It'll make it super smooth.
It'll buff it out.
Yeah.
Nice.
It'll protect
You can put it on anything.
Anything?
I don't know. I guess I'm trying to think of like how my expectations of a podcast were before we ever started doing this and how they are now. I think it's very different being on this side of it. Because it is a lot. It is a lot of work. I mean, it's something I have to do every day. But I don't know. It's I was just, as you guys were talking, I was kind of looking through all the previous episodes we have, and it's kind of hard to think of how many topics we've actually covered. When it comes to the community questions that we do every 5 episodes, I don't think we've never picked the same question twice. And if someone had asked another question, we always said, go check out this episode that we've already done. But it's just really crazy to think that we've been able to talk about essentially 50 different topics, over the last year, and each one it kind of has its own legs, and we're able to kind of carry through it in a relatively long conversation. And it resonates with people, and we're able to solve some problems, I guess, that people have in their workshops. I know that
The funny thing is I don't think we've even scratched the surface yet.
Mm-hmm.
No, we haven't. We kind of, most podcasts, we kind of come in like with an open mind. Like, if we get to the topic, we get to it. If we don't, we don't. Sometimes the topic will last 5 minutes and we start riffing about something else. And so I think that's what's really interesting, and what you don't really get, not being in a podcast is.
What I think is really interesting is, we're all woodworkers, and we've shared a lot of our knowledge about that, but we've also shared our lives, from
Mhm.
Ben getting engaged, graduation, adventures on Zero, Jason, you moving, trials and tribulations with Leo, Max being born. You're sharing your life with everybody on this podcast. And I've learned so much about you guys, just, kibitzing on this hour and a half. It's awesome.
Yeah, good point.
I learned a lot about you, Ben. I've shared my life on here. People
Mhm.
kind of know me a little bit, instead of this guy who dresses up in blue and green all the day, in front of a camera.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Teaching Festool. I think people know a little bit more about me now and realize I'm such a young guy.
Well,
I mean, you're only 23, Sedge.
Actually, I
like
just
times
turned
4.
32.
Oh my God.
Um,
We missed
Hey,
another
so-
birthday.
I wanted to, let's flip this now, because I would like to know where you guys, so moving on forward from this point, what's something that you would either like to sustain? What's something that you would really like to change? What's something that you would like to eventually do on the podcast? What are some things you either change, or some things that you would hope for? And I'm gonna bump it to Sedge first, mainly because I need to go get another drink. But what would you change? What do you want to see that we talk about and reflect on episode 100? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or Ben, unless Ben has something queued
Ben,
up.
you
No.
got something first?
No, go ahead, Sedge.
Okay. I like the formula we have. Like, we start off, what have you been up to? What's on your bench? Blah, blah, blah. And then we go into, I really like the flow of everything. I don't know if I would change too much right now. I mean, we keep coming up with stuff to add.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Hans, oh my God. And the Panzerbrats, that just, this just makes me laugh. I don't know what I would change. It's tough, because the ones where, hey, you'll say, Jason, let's just talk. I'm like, we don't have a topic to talk about. And
Those are some of my favorite episodes.
Me too, because we just spitball and it's fun, and people come up to me and say, hey, I really liked when you guys were just talking about nothing. One of the epiphanal moments that we asked the patrons on a Beers with the Boys is, what can we do different? And they said, make it longer. That kind of blew us away. Remember that?
Yeah, that was,
Yep.
I didn't expect that one.
No,
I thought it'd
me
been like
either.
more episodes,
I mean, I was just listening to another woodshop podcast, AWP, and they keep theirs to about an hour, a little over an hour. And
Mhm.
I'm listening to it. I'm like, okay, they got a good formula too. But I don't know. I don't think I would change too much. I'd like to find a way to that's tough. I mean, we're always asking people to submit questions. Maybe we could, get a better way to get questions submitted more.
Yeah, I'll agree on that, because I can ask for questions on Instagram, and I just added 20 or whatever, however many I added today, and it's a time suck. But I always can rely on my audience to do that. Where I think we thought that the right thing to do and the smart thing to do would be to direct people towards the website, but it's like anything else. If you have to add steps for somebody to do something, it's less likely they're going to do it.
Yeah.
So we don't have nearly as many questions there.
And if Instagram or wherever you're making that post sees that people are exiting the platform, they're going to stop serving that to more people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's, there, I guess if we were each better about, like, if you receive a interesting question in your DMs and you're like, this would be a really good thing to talk about on the podcast, in addition to answering it for this individual, I think we would never have any shortage of questions, because that's a daily basis for me. It's just the last thing I think about is, oh, this is a really good question. Let me go put this on the other thing. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
it works. Or we can always rely on Ed Mancini to send us in, 12 questions every time I ask
Yeah.
for them.
But his questions are great.
Yeah, the ones that he sent in this
Oh,
week are actually really good.
Absolutely. And he's a great guy.
I'll share what I would like to see moving forward. I think I would like to have more guests.
Oh,
I do.
Okay.
yeah, I do.
I enjoy when we have guests. I enjoyed Eric,
Yep.
both Eric Curtis and Eric Gorgeous. I had loved it when we had Mike Coffey on here. I want to say those are the only 3 guests we've had.
Okay. I was thinking about that today. I know some people who are really good craftsmen, but nobody knows who they are. They don't do any social media. You want me to ask some of those folks?
Oh, absolutely. I think
Absolutely.
that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Okay.
There's obviously a lot of the, like, normal names that you'd hear. Like, I'd love to have Keith Johnson on here. I've talked to him about it. Jason
No
Hibbs, obviously,
way.
would be fun to have on here.
No way. Not Keith Johnson. No way.
Why? Yeah, he's such a jerk.
He's such a jerk. He's got those
I mean,
cats.
He's like a lame. He's kind of lame. If I'm being honest.
I'd love to have Ronnie Fulton on here. Oh no, we had Ken
Yeah.
DeCoste. That was another.
Oh,
really
that
good
was
episode.
cool. That was cool.
Um,
He's a great guy.
So I just enjoy it. I don't want it to turn into only having guests, but it is a nice breakup of guests. So something that I would recommend, and I'll just recommend it since we're talking about it. Moving forward, something that we might want to think about doing is, instead of, I love the patron sponsored episode. However, that's very hit or miss. We could either make that like a backup is to have a guest, but that's going to be hard to coordinate. Or we, for the 3 of us, one of us just forfeits ours and brings on a guest. So,
Mhm.
Okay.
like Ben, when it's your week to bring on a guest, and then it's my week to bring on a guest, and then it's Sedge's week to bring on a guest, and then the other 2 days it's just I pick a topic, you pick a topic, or vice versa.
Mhm.
It'd be nice to have a guest per month. I think that would be a really good way to break
Okay.
it up, and
Let's shoot for that. Let's
yeah,
shoot for that.
people enjoy it. So
I would say a quarter. Once a quarter would probably be a better.
really,
Yeah.
why?
Just because of the coordination that requires. I mean, not that there is a shortage of potential guests. I think there's a lot, but I think it's good to have our own rhythm for a little while, and then bring in someone new, which will kind of pump in a little bit of extra energy, bring in some new audience, or us bring them audience. I don't think, because our podcast is typically the 3 of us. I don't think it would be good to do that once a month. I think that would get kind of hectic after a while. I mean, obviously we could always test it out, but I think
What
once a
if
quarter
I
is-
handle bringing the guests on?
Well, it's not like the logistics of trying to get someone. I just think for the show itself, I think it would be better as once a quarter, or maybe once every 2 months, not every single month.
I got one.
We can do that.
I think we should do this twice a year.
What?
Instead of Ben, it's an all Hans edition.
That's a valid point.
It is.
Actually, I think that we need to have it for once a year, and it's Hans's
Oktoberfest.
holiday special.
Oktoberfest.
Hans's
There
holiday.
we go.
special.
Yeah.
Hans's Oktoberfest. Get your lederhosen. The Panzerbrats are coming to you.
Ben, what about you?
Changes. I think my changes would be more metric based, more analytics based, rather than just kind of what we'd want to see. I think that again, just because I look at the metrics of all the episodes, I know where people typically tend to dip out, and so I'm coming at it from a very analytical standpoint. So I think certain segments need to be tightened up a little bit to that would hold new listeners' attention longer. So like very minor format changes, but the overall structure I think it's good. But I would want to tighten some things up.
We need to talk about that because that's the first time you've mentioned anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a change.
I mean,
Ben, share your knowledge. How about that?
Well, I mean, the thing is that you have to give it time to build up. You can't just do it after the first episode. But now we have 50 episodes.
That's what I've been trying to tell Marianne all these years.
Yeah.
There's certain patterns that I see in the analytics. So, I mean, really, really what it comes down to is anytime Jason wasn't on the podcast, our analytics went through the roof.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say anything, but
I know for a fact that is not true.
But Jason, you're fired.
Yeah.
Hey, was those great
enjoy
shirts
the podcast
that Gary
crashing
had?
and burning, everybody.
What's
were
that
those
say?
great shirts that Gary had?
Yeah, they're pretty funny.
Yeah. Which you won't know unless you become a patron and you come to Beers with the Boys.
That's
Which,
right.
speaking of that, we probably need to try to figure out
we
when we're going to schedule Beers with the Boys this month, because I'm going to be gone next week.
Yeah. Well, it's typically towards the end of the month anyway. So.
Well, what do you say we wrap this one up?
Okay.
Yep.
Let's end it there.
All right.
Should we do hateful comments on episode 50? It's kind of a staple of the show. I can read a couple.
Yeah, let's do again.
I have some.
Okay. Hold on, everybody. Hans.
Yes. Oh, hey guys.
We need you. Oh, hey, Hans.
Hi, Hans.
Is it time to show the internet how much we hate Jason?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
I am ready. Hans has a couple comments today.
Ooh.
Oh, Hans, nice. All right. So, what is this segment called, Hans?
Everyone hates Jason? No, gets the bent.
Wow.
My brain, it's from early episodes, guys. Come on, it's get bent. Come on.
Get bent. All right.
The
So
hatreds.
everything I'm about to read, everybody, is on my latest video, which is talking about cleaning your cast iron.
Wait, my cat's iron?
Yeah, cat's iron.
Gumbo,
Yep.
do you golf?
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna read this first one is from that video, but I also have another person that agreed with that person and left another comment. So I'm gonna read both. The first person states, "Pretty good commercial." This is a response. Agree. And a long one. 1/3 of the time spent on cleaning, the rest on applying a top coat. I could have enjoyed a 10-minute video, but it is Brent's channel, and he is free to do as he sees fit. I used to enjoy this channel, but between this and the festival, yes, I use them, commercials, I think I'll move on. There are plenty others out there.
Oh, he probably went to Sedge Tool.
Yeah, Brent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brent. Jeez.
Yeah,
Brent's
Brent.
Working. Here's another one. Carbon Method has been stepping up their influencer marketing. It's similar to Odie's oil. In theory, it could be an amazing product, but being continually pushed by so many different woodworking channels makes me suspicious. Hard to find an honest opinion on them. This person writes, "Yup, there was a rash of them on Facebook a few weeks ago. I called out a few of them and they finally admitted that they are part of a Carbon Method team. They were, posting as if they were happy users. They finally started posting that they are part of the team. Now they stepped up going to big influencers, although Jason stated that he bought it for himself. I wanted to see a long-term use before dropping $100 on a few ounces.
I'm sorry.
And also make sure that there is no harm for it." It's
find it-
literally me and Mark Spagnolo.
I
And
find it
by the
r-
way, the owner of the company even wrote that as well. The only people you've seen marketing this product because they just launched it is me and Mark.
I find it really hard to believe that someone twisted someone else's arm on Facebook to admit something
Yeah.
with their comments.
Yeah.
Be like, oh yeah, what about this comment, buddy?
I'm part of the team. Yeah.
Oh my God,
No
he's got
one's-
me. You're right.
They haven't seen anybody else use this product yet.
That's true.
You know what's funny is I'm telling you, 6 months from now, we're going to be looking back on this conversation going like people are idiots because I truly believe, and they're not paying me to say this, I truly believe that this product does exactly what it is advertised that it does. I truly believe that. And if I have just put a product on my cast iron surfaces that will last me over 6 months, maybe even a year in my shop, I would never consider using anything else again because I've used a lot of different things. I'm going to read one more and then we can
like Sedge's
give it to Hans.
impregnated socks.
Exactly.
Like
This person
what?
says, you're impregnated socks.
socks.
Oh,
That's trademark.
This person says, sad, another infomercial. And then this person responded, and I'm going to read this in a regular voice, except that he paid for the product and did not give an opinion on how well it worked since he had no experience with it. He did give his views on the prep and application, which he performed. Infomercial, not.
hey, I got to get bent, but I deleted it
Why?
because I didn't like it because I called out Big D. The guy said, nice video. Where does your life partner get his earrings?
Yeah.
I would have said Walmart. Where else would you get
Yeah.
them?
Yeah, Walmart. Ooh, Ben, I just thought of something that I want to do going into the next 50 episodes.
What?
When I read comments, we're going to come up with a response on the podcast. I'm going to put it in there.
Okay,
Oh.
that's good.
Okay.
That's a good one.
That's good.
Yep. I'm tired of just letting these guys feel like they hurt my feelings. I want to write back the most stupid,
Because they
insane,
did hurt my feelings.
dumb thing
I
ever.
want them to think that they hurt my feelings. though.
Yeah, I want to write back the most off the wall things, and I want all of us to come up with it live for everybody else to hear. That will really make me happy. That's actually, I'm so glad that I just thought of that. Okay, Ben, go ahead.
So this is on a Facebook post sharing my review video that I did of my motorcycle. This person says, "Congrats for sure. Not to mention that you must be independently wealthy or something to push that many miles in a short span." And I said, well, most of them are free thanks to Electrify America and Harley Davidson complimentary charging. So every live wire you get 2 years of free charging. And so he comes back and says, free comps smells of elitism.
Oh my God.
I don't know how that. First of all, I don't know how he smells anything through Facebook. It's kind of impossible to smell anything
Yeah.
through Facebook, you know,
Yeah.
unless like you showed like a picture of Jason's upper lip, and I'm like, that smells terrible.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm
can
like,
see where Hans is an elitist.
I'm like, what? So
Idiots.
I think I should write back. Smells like your mom.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's what your
Ooh.
mom said, you loser.
That's what your mom said, you elitist twit.
Yeah.
Well, alrighty.
All right, guys. Well, thank
All
you
right.
for 50 episodes, everybody.
Hey,
Woo!
hang on.
Happy 50.
Hang on.
Oh,
I think I just wanted to say to everyone that has ever listened to our podcast, that comments on our posts, that engages with us in the podcast, that submits questions. Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks for being a part of our community.
Yes.
Thanks to all of our patrons for being so awesome, because you guys are awesome, especially because everyone gives Jason shit. And that's the whole reason why I nurture the community. It's like a little army of Jason haters. You know what I'm saying?
All right. They're the only ones laughing at the end of the day.
Man. Beers
I'm
with the
living
boys.
life.
Become a patron.
But in all seriousness, thanks everyone that's participated in the growth of the podcast. It really does mean a lot to all of us. We couldn't continue doing what we do every week without all the engagement and laughs and just good times that we have with the community. So thanks to everyone for sticking with us through 50 episodes. And we look forward to hanging out with you for another maybe 5 or 6, and then we're just going to stop.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
See y'all later. Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye.